So my name's Josh, I'm 26, I'm from Norfolk, and next year I want to try and break the world record for the most 18-hole golf courses played in a single year. The record is 580, which was set by an American chap called Patrick last year, and that works out to about an average of 1.6 a day, so it's no easy feat. I think growing up, in that age where you're a teenage lad, the sport, you tend to play a lot of the different sports, a lot of football, and you tend to pick up a lot of the things at that age. And I think golf was always the one that came last at that level. About 16, I took up golf. My dad really enjoyed it, and he got a membership the day I was born. And I think going from there, all of the other ones just started to peak out, and I had an ACL surgery which kind of stopped the football taking off, and I think golf just took over, and slowly but surely everything else fell apart, and golf just became the main one, and from there I found a passion with it. I think the amazing thing about golf, and I think what makes it such a great sport, is that there are so many different ways that people can enjoy it. There's from the old boys who kind of go out every week to keep fit, and to the community aspect of it, to the people trying to make it on the pro circuits, the kind of competition golfers who play every week, and at the club level, and I think the niche that I've found within that is going out and exploring different golf courses. I get a pure amount of enjoyment from going and seeing a different golf course and enjoying the architecture of it, the facilities, that the clubhouse. I think it's great. So I think it's certainly not an easy challenge doing something like this, but it will mean a lot to me, and I think it has a place in my heart to try and play as many different golf courses as I can. So last year we lost my mum after a very short battle with lung cancer. It was within the space of about 2 months. We'd gone from everything being completely normal to her not being here anymore. By the time we had the diagnosis, it was probably only about 2 weeks that we had left with her. So it was something that happened so suddenly, and when something like that happens, it really puts life in a completely different perspective, and I think it was something like that made me realise that life is short, nothing is guaranteed, and that I wanted to do something that I really enjoyed, and I wanted to take on something. I wanted to look back at something in my life and that I could be proud of, and I think something like this is a great way to do it. I want to raise as much money as possible for a couple of charities that are really close to me. My mum did a lot of charity work for one of the charities, and one of them is Macmillan. Macmillan is a national charity that helps people in facing the kind of the experience and the scenario that we did that last year, and going through that on a first-hand level. I think it's not something you'd wish on anyone, and so I think that's a very important part. I think logistically it's a very difficult challenge to plan. A lot of golf courses won't accept booking a tee time so far in advance, and so you have to get very dynamic with it. A lot of booking 2 weeks to a month ahead of time, and that obviously can throw out problems. The current record was set in America, which is a massive area and has a lot more golf courses than the UK does, but I think the UK is far more condensed in the amount of golf courses in a short space, and so I think it's still realistic. I think the biggest battle is going to be the weather, especially starting in January. I think there's going to be a lot of limited daylight hours, and so kind of pace of play is going to be really important. I think making sure that we're doing things as quickly as we can and time efficiently as we can. The mental aspect of it is going to be very challenging. I think it's not going to be easy at all. So I'm going to be relying on a lot of friends and family to kind of motivation from them, and hopefully they'll come and see me at parts along the way. I'm an only child, so I'm quite independent in the first aspect. So I'm used to my own space and whatnot. So I think that will help, living a year in a motorhome and traveling up and down the country. But I think one of the biggest challenges is that you can do all of the planning in the world for something like this, and you won't know until you kind of get there and you start doing something like this how difficult it's going to be. But I think the amount of time and effort and mentality that I've put into organising this, the amount of phone calls I've had, emails I've sent to try and get this show on the road is it doesn't really give me an option to not do it. So I think that will drive me as well to get it done and to smash the record. I think physically it's going to be a big issue. Physically it can be a big issue. I think there's going to be a lot of making sure that I'm in a good place. It's going to be eating the right foods to be able to recover. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Playing 1.6 courses a day on average and more is certainly taxing. I think a lot of people will be saying that I'm living the dream, but I think the reality of it is that it's going to be a bit more difficult than that, you know, and there will be times where I don't want to go out and play golf, and it's obviously the mentality side of things to get through and to crack on and to really push through and persevere. I think physically is probably going to be the biggest constraint. I think this challenge is an incredibly ambitious one, and I think it wouldn't be possible without the support of people and individuals. You know, I'm very lucky that I've amassed a certain following through Instagram and through TikTok, and that's shown how good the golf community is with wanting to help people out. And I think doing something like this, you don't want to ask, but you're almost reliant on stuff like that happening. You know, the cost of 600 green fees alone in a year is, you know, it is eye-watering if you have to pay full price everywhere. So I'm very thankful that I've got a good base of golf courses that I can go to, which will help keep the cost down. And I think as it picks up a bit of traction through the year, there's opportunities for sponsors to get on board, and there's opportunities for people to, you know, come along and keep me company throughout the course of the year. For those of you who want to follow me along, I've had a website made which will allow you to track where I am, as well as being able to donate to the cause. There's an embedded link there which will send you through to a website you can donate. There's also parts of that as well which allows sponsorship, you know, people to have a look at the people who have really helped me along the way, and also a place that you can help and how you can be a part of the journey as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you out on the road. Ginger Golf, signing off.